All right, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio. Been real busy working on a large commission, and I'm getting close to wrapping that one up, as well as a couple small ones also. So I haven't really had a chance to work on these bad boys lately, but I have a basically a video from start to finish using Games Workshop contrast paints and also some metallics to paint up the Ork Kommandos Kill Team. So this is them. They are nearly complete. Basically have everything done on these models up to basically like washes and like some last minute like details and kind of highlights and everything. So I just figured I would take a little look at them and kind of show them off as making nice progress, but just haven't quite gotten them finished yet. But definitely worth having a look at. So everything was done and basically just like one coat. I haven't had to like go through and like repaint anything or do any particular touch-ups. So they're not exactly perfect, but just taking my time and using the paints, letting them work for me, and just kind of painting from the inside out basically allowed me to get away without having to do a bunch of corrections or anything like that. And if you didn't check out the previous video where I magnetized the knob, highly recommend you have a look at that. Went ahead and magnetized the heavy chopper or big chopper and the power claw, as well as both heads for him. So you can kind of swap those out equipment wise or look wise. So let's take a closer look. So if you haven't previously seen, I often make these little head rack sprues for painting the heads. So I always leave the heads off the models and I go ahead and paint them in these head racks. I usually paint a few extra ones if I don't like how one comes out or there's a mistake, or just have a few extra ones that I feel like throwing on here, and then I just kind of see what looks best at the end. So we have quite a bit of variance with them. Everything from like the full helmeted heads to like the dude with the knife in his mouth, respirators, all kinds of like cool effects we'll be able to do with some like OSL and lights. And then we even got the little grot head on the end there. So they look pretty cool. I got the basic colors laid down. The next basic steps would be to go through, hit them with a couple of washes, probably a Reichland flesh shade and some Nullen oil, and then go through afterwards with a little bit of like white, and then do like some OSL kind of glow effects using probably like some blue or red, or maybe just like a little dry brush. I want to do like a little bit of like a skin tone kind of around like the lips of some of the bearhead ones, and make sure to pick out the teeth as well. So next we have the knobs equipment and heads. So we have the power claw, we have the gas mask helmet, the like bear helmet with trucker hat, and then our big chopper. And you'll see when the video comes out here where I demonstrate like the painting process and everything, that I have used all contrast paints and then washes and metallics. So the greens are basically two different contrast paints, and then I do like a green wash over top, and then I just kind of Q-tip off a little bit of the wash to kind of let like the highlights stand out. But there's no actual like brushwork or anything done to any of these guys. I haven't gone through, done any edge highlights or anything like that. It is all just like one coat basically gone through and done. So the last little bit will add the extra detail and makes things stand out. But I like to keep it simple but make it look good. So here's a little grot bro. You can see there's like awesome texture on these guys. I really like the gloves. They definitely look like they have like the, kind of like wool knitted look to them. But overall, pretty awesome. I've used like quite a few different contrast paints on them. Just different shades of like grays, browns, obviously like green for the flesh tones. And then, of course, gonna go through and do some final washes over the metallics, and then just do like some little edge highlights, kind of pick out some of the details at the end. I can't remember all the specific names for these guys, but this dude is like loaded up with knives. So I added on a couple extra knives. Probably went like a little bit overboard, but I like the idea of this dude just being like fully knifed up, kind of like the Danny Trejo from Desperado of orcs. So I put an extra one on his backpack and a couple on his waist. And then, he's obviously got his little stick bomb as well. And then, the two that he carries. And then he'll have one in his mouth, and then of course a couple extra grenades as well. So I like they give you like a bunch of the different equipment options as like options to add on to the orcs. I was pretty well into assembling these guys before I realized the backpacks were completely interchangeable though. That could have been useful for kind of changing up some of the equipment options that you're likely to take on different guys. So here is the breacher boy. Again, you can see like all the different contrast paints and just like the kind of variants, like the red on the dynamite, the green on the poucher and boots, various metallics as well. And then obviously like the Zenithal, base coat, and then letting the contrast paints really just kind of sink down in there, and then just using a little bit of green wash as well. And then the metallics really like bring it all together. So when I finish up with the washes over the metallics, and then a couple of edge highlights and some details at the end, it should really set these guys off. So here is the knob. Definitely a really cool model. I went ahead and magnetized him in a previous video. If you didn't check that out, super simple, easy process to do. Once I hit him again with the washes, he should look pretty awesome. And then I'll do like the little screen on his back there and everything, and just kind of pick out a couple other little random details. And they'll look real nice once they're on some textured fancy bases too. And here we got our Daka boy. He's got his bunch of little bullets shooting out of there. I made sure when I glued those on that they have like 2 points of contact, so they're less likely to kind of like break off or anything. I always like to make sure that the models are less likely to break, especially after I paint them. But he's got like various shades of like black, grays, greens and browns on there. Very cool model. I love these orcs. They got so much flavor to them. And here is our burner boy. So he's obviously got his burner. I'm going to make the gauge light up, and then I will do the flames in like our classic flame look. Very cool model once again. I love the backpacks, like a barrel, obviously full of some flammable stuff. Got some little contraptions to kind of like turn it on and off. Very cool. I love these models. So much freaking character to them. Orcs are like perfect for the kill team because you can put a little bit of everything, and they have like the perfect blend of like badass commando and like silly. And here we've got just one of our regular old basic boys. Still very cool. Even the regular guys are pretty awesome. I've got like the sweet pistol, little knife action, the spare on his back, and then obviously got his little equipment, extra bullets, all that good stuff. I really like how these guys have came out. I think the finishing touches should really like set them off as well. So, and here is our comms bro. So not sure actually why he has extra bullets, because I don't even think he has a gun, but pretty sure it told us to put those on there, or they came on the body. But regardless, cool little like weird comms blaster thing. Sort of like listening device that he can kind of shoot people with, I guess. I don't know. They've got like all their little power packs to power all their various equipment. And again, cool little gloves and everything. Some rope on his side. I like that they have like a lot of the equipment options just randomly sculpted onto the model. So very cool. Looking forward to finishing these guys up. Arguably one of my favorite models. Obviously, orcs are not known for their shooting, but the sniper boy is awesome. So he's got his like sniper big shooter. Very cool. A ton and ton of extra ammo like all over him. He's got like his cool little double sight going on. A couple grenades on his pack, and a pistol should you creep up on him. So kind of reminds me of like the Navy SEALs. This is my god, so to speak. So very cool model. I really like him. Looking forward to finishing him up and putting a cool head on him to make sure that people know he has got his eyes on them. And of course, the Rocket Boy. Once again, very cool. I'm going to do some extra little details on the rockets once I get the washes and everything on there. So super cool. He's got like his little quad rocket action going on. Loaded up with equipment on his backpack. A knife in case he needs it. Like 2 random bullets and a grenade. Very cool. Tons of character. I like the little power packs all over everything. Kind of powering it up. And then all over the equipment as well. So you're not just wondering like how these fixtures have, power and light going to them. There's actually like, batteries hooked up. So, and batteries are included. And last but not least for these bros is our last just regular old boy. Did mess up on this model. Did not pay attention to which arm I was using. So he is like bare chested and just wearing like suspenders. And I definitely gave him an arm with a sleeve on it. So I was already pretty well into the painting process before I realized this. So I just painted it flesh color and figured nobody but me would ever know. So it's our little secret, guys. But overall, pretty cool. He's got his like little spear gun. Definitely liking that. Cool little character to it. Again, they did really well giving you like all the different equipment options. But again, I just built based on like the actual book and what it said to do, obviously with the exception of this one arm. and did not realize that the backpacks were all like interchangeable. So you could like swap out which backpack you gave to which guy if you wanted to be like specific about the equipment. I'm not super sure who I would give like what equipment to anyway. I know like the Breacher Boy should get like dynamite. That's like pretty standard, and same with the Daka Boy. And I feel like they did pretty good with that. So yep, that's it for today. Just a quick one. I kind of wanted to like show these guys off, a little work in progress, as I'm essentially just like finishing up editing the first part of the video where I go through and paint everything. And then I will add on the last little bit with the washes and kind of details and highlights. And then I'll have like the complete video up. I'm gonna start doing for like the actual like longer painting videos. I'll have like the full video available where you can basically watch me paint the entire model squad, whatever, up, like pretty much like real time, maybe fast forwarded. And then I'm going to do a edited version where I basically just lay down the basic steps, and then you can watch like a super short version and still see all the different colors or like techniques, methods, etc. But really liking the contrast paints. Looking forward to the speed paints as well, and kind of seeing how they all work out. But in this case, I love the way the orc flesh came out. The two different tones, like the kind of richer green, and then the sort of like off, like a little more yellowish look. The magnetization of the weapons, and then obviously the tons and tons of head options. So we'll add a little bit of detail to these guys, a little bit of weapon and like OSL glow kind of going on in various areas, like the scopes, some details on the batteries, kind of pick out some of the eyes and sights and everything. And, just the last little bits of detail after we do the washes. And then a couple edge highlights, and these guys should look phenomenal. And they will be ready to do battle with the Tau. So it'll probably be a bit before I get a battle report out, but we will have at that point in time. Obviously I'll have to slap some bases on these guys as well, but we'll have the Tau Pathfinder Kill Team, the Ork Kommandos Kill Team, and then a fully painted set of the Octarius terrain. So two of the debatably best kill teams, or, most effective kill teams, battling it out on some nice looking terrain, and that should be pretty fun. So I'll have to work that in as I am finishing up a large commission, and this is always a really busy time of the year, so there's plenty more rolling in. For everybody out there that does get a commission, I am truly appreciative for each and every one of you, and obviously this last year has been absolutely stellar. Hopefully 2022 will be even better, if that's even possible. So thank you guys for watching today. Appreciate you taking a look. Hopefully you like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and tune in next time for another cool video for anything from Warhammer 40k, Age of Sigmar. We're doing that kill team. We got some warcry, and then obviously necromunda as well. Everything from painting tutorials, magnetizations, customizations, reactions, reviews, and everything you can imagine. So Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and this is our Ork Kommandos Kill Team, minus the squig, which he'll creep his way in there eventually. And I'm out of here.